farmers, River here, back for another episode of Stiffi Golden Valley, something like that. And when we last left, we had gotten done feeding the animals, as much as we could anyway, and it's just a few minutes later, so our silage is still not ready. So I thought, well, now's the time to take care of the fields. I think after this, what I'll probably do is some mission running. I'm not sure that there's that much to show, just to build up the money. I did get my achievement for going bankrupt in the first day by $24. So I hired a worker after buying the animals, if you didn't see that episode. So that did work. And other than that, most of them should be, most of the other achievements should just come in time, except for shooting the basketball hoop thing. So let me get this guy set up. Move that over a little bit this way. Have to clean up where the guy. So course play, or I'm sorry, not course play, but oops, you know what? This is not. Let's see if we can do. There you go. Then we want to switch to auto, switch around. Switch it back this way. So this actually, every time you get to the end of the field, it auto offsets. Let's move it back. You do have to change your plow manually, but and I know it's not too realistic to drop it off the field like that, but all right. So I'm going to fast forward. Well, let me talk about this for a second. I didn't fertilize this field. I didn't think about it. But what I want to do is just go ahead and fertilize this field after we get done plowing it. Then I think, from what I understand, we have to fertilize 3 times. So what I'm curious about is, can I fertilize the fields like before I plow and then after I plant? So apparently, you know, I know if I plant this one, or I'm sorry, if I plow this one, it's not going to make any difference until I wait for the first growth stage. I don't know if that made any sense. So in other words, plow, fertilize, plant, and then you don't get any benefit to fertilize right after you plant. So, and I don't think it's going to make any difference. So my bet is that this field, you know, we're not going to be able to fertilize it. I'm trying to get my thoughts straight. We're not going to be able to fertilize this field twice today, or in this growth stage, I should say. And I don't think we're going to be able to do anything with that field either, even though I'm going to fertilize it first and then plow it. But I just kind of want to see if what I'm going to do here makes any, you know, makes any difference at all. So I know it makes sense to me, and I'll show you as I go along. We'll make this one episode with a lot of fast forwarding. So on that note, I will fast forward, and I'll see you guys when I'm done plowing this field and explain the fertilization thing again. I haven't actually used these things, so maybe they're just placeable. Kind of interesting, isn't it? Oh, that's solid. There, see the little bag? This one's the liquid. There we go. That makes sense. Yeah, I'm not sure why particularly you would use solid, but so this is costing us a good amount, isn't it? Yeah. Well, while we're waiting for that, we could probably set up this guy. So let's come here and hit automatic offset. Offset 0, 27. What is he listed as on here? 28. So let's make him 28. There you go. Hit it on the head. I'm going to save this guy. So let's go here to number 2. This is save. This one onto the disk. And hopefully that was just a one-time glitch. We can get rid of this. So if you noticed, I widened the fields a little bit. You know what? I should do the roller thingy, shouldn't I? Let's let that guy fold out all the way. I'll show you what I mean. So let's detach him. That was a little bit awkward. I hope I can reattach him. By the roller thingy, and this thing's a little bit heavy for this tractor, I'm sure. This, if you haven't used this yet, in the old days you would just plant grass. So apparently, and I think the benefit, and this is another experiment I want to try over the next few days, is if we plant grass, does it grow just like a regular crop does? So now that we have this on, so let's see, hopefully this doesn't cause problems. I'm going to put F1 up as a matter of fact. So I'm going to hit Control. We're going to go to back to 1, and then we're going to load it. Yeah, see how everything just disappeared? And I can't click that? Oh, yeah. All right, let me, I need to restart the game real quick. Unless you guys, I mean, let me know if you know a way to stop. I ended up having to re-plow the field by using that course play and trying to reload that. You know, it locks it up so you can't hit the escape button. I couldn't really hit hardly anything. So, you know, this morning when it happened, I guess I didn't care as much because I was just messing with whatever I was messing with. But anyway, I saved the game right when I got done plowing, so we won't have to go back there. And this time the fertilizer spreader is still sitting over there. We'll have to get it refilled and get it out. But I've already come in the tractor and set up my GPS. So I will turn it on and back up a bit and then put this thing down. And so this is the way that you delete fields. So if you notice, it's sort of like the old grass planting. I'll go back and forth. It seems kind of rough right there, doesn't it? And so you're better off doing this a little bit, you know, less than more. So it looks like I want to move over a little bit. How about like right there? So now there it goes. So that's about even now. See how it didn't get that spot because of the, so you might want to go slow. It doesn't matter that much. But I like it to look nice and straight. See, we're not creating any extra, you know, taken away from the field. So this is a good spot. And we'll do the same thing to the other end of the field. And you can go backwards and do it backwards or forwards. I just want to make sure I get all of this. The other thing I notice is that this part of the field is awful rough. So I think I'm going to go up this line a little bit. I kind of just want to make sure I get it all. See, right down here is pretty rough. So let's turn this guy 90 degrees. Let's move it over a little bit more than that. Seems to get a bit smoother after this. It's nice and straight. All right. Yeah, see that roughness? That'll just mess things up. So we'll redo this. Yeah, it gets smoother up here, but and I started, I don't know, didn't seem that rough when I was plowing, but noticed it at some point here. So now let's lift this up, turn this guy 90 degrees again. Let's see, let's see, we'll probably end up taking away some field, so we'll move this over. Like I said, you're a little better off starting here and seeing what happens then. Let's not back over the cliff. See what I mean there? Like that's, even though it looked like it was too far to the left, it really wasn't. Take care of this while I'm down this end. Let's lift this thing up. Get a nice straight line. And as I mentioned before, you can go backwards. And there we go. So I don't know what happens if you're like tooling across the field and you bump the ground. But we seem to have a nice, little bit bigger field. Let's turn this off for a second. Park this guy back where he belongs. I'm not going to do anything with this one. It's sort of boxed in, and you know, it's fine the way it is. Be nice to, you know, I like to kind of fill out the fields where it makes sense. All right, so let's dump that guy off. And let's get a weight. And let's get our sprayer. Now we have to refill this guy up one more time. Alright, so what I plan on doing is spraying both fields. So one will have been plowed and one was not. So then I'm going to plow this second field, field number 15. Oops. And we'll see if we can spray fertilizer after I plant. And if it gives, can I do a double dose of fertilizer on field 15? I know it won't work on field 14. So let's refill this while I'm standing there talking. And this will bring us, we could have probably not hired that worker, just filled up this thing, but I didn't think of it at the time. We'll see. Let's see. Now, I kind of like the fact the game doesn't... I assume that's still filling. No change in the animals. was just curious. I wonder why that's only 99%, or is that the maximum, one of those double-digit kind of things? Alright, so now this guy is ready. We're not going to preload any course play things. That guy unfolding. Get the course play back up. We can do an auto width. That seems to be fine. So we'll just have to set these things up manually each time, which is okay as long as it doesn't get off of 90 degrees. Like, that's the main reason I would use that. 28.2. We should yeah. Okay, 28.1 it is. And we got the GPS on, and all right, let me fast forward real quick when I spray these fields. I'll be back. Okay, guys, we're sprayed up. So I hope I see. Oops, why can't I? I don't know. Let's just park this guy in here. And next, we'll be back to the plow. So what I'd like to do is, you know, I'll plow this field, so they'll both be plowed. Let's take a real quick look at the map and see what it says about fertilized and all that kind of stuff. First, let's set this guy up. And we'll move it over a bit. That should be good. Alright, so if we look at the map, fruit types, growth. So let's zoom in. So there's field 14, made it nice and big. So it's definitely a nice little improvement in my opinion. Didn't take that long. So as far as that goes, they're plowed, and this one still says harvested. So, well, wait, let's switch over to this. All right, needs plowing. So if I take that off, see, these are both the same color, which looks like the lightest color blue right there. So, except for where the grass was, that's kind of, yeah, I don't know what's going on with all of that, but whatever. I'm assuming once we get it fully fertilized, it should even it back out. A little fertilized spot right there. I'm not sure what that's about. In any event, we will go ahead and, like I said, get this guy plowed. And then once he's plowed, we can get it planted. So I'll probably, let's get moving. Let's back up a little bit. And so there we go. It shouldn't take overly long to plow this field up. Am I missing? You know what? I want to make that a little narrower. What does this thing say as far as its... There it is. 3. Yeah, it's 3.6 seems to be a bit too much. Let's do 3.3. Let's move it over this way a bit. Hit V. Let's start over again. It's kind of, I don't know if that's mist or just a tire track. It's my offset. Yeah, I think it should be more offset too. Wrong way. No, it was the right way. Let's see how that looks. Probably a tiny bit more. Yeah, I think that'll be good. We'll find out. Yes, I don't know if it's any different, but it's making me feel better. All right, well, let me fast forward through the rest of this, and I will talk to you guys when I get done. And yeah, we'll have a brief fast forward intermission while I then tell you about planting the fields. All right, so this is done. So let's fold this guy up. We don't own any other fields, right? Open up. Oh yeah, look, we got a grass field down there, huh? I think that's a grass field. Let's look at this map. Grass. Yeah, that certainly seems like, yeah, that's a grass field down there. So we'll have to work on getting that cut, huh? Yeah, that'll be good to have the extra grass. All right, well anyway, I'm not going to do that right this second. Let's get this guy parked. Probably didn't need to fold that, did I? All right, so what do we do next? Where do we put that cultivator? I guess we can bring this guy with us, get some seeds in him. Ooh, out of control. We'll find a little better place for this when we're done. So this will be for the sugar beets. So let's run down. Yeah, there's the cultivator. But let's go fill him up with sugar beets. And we'll get that planted. I want to show you what I'm thinking here. Get back and done. Go, sugar beets in here. I guess we'll just park it. Let's park it up here. So we'll park this guy back. When we get done with the cultivator. So what I wanted to show you was, look how black and dark that field looks compared to this one. This one looks like, the 15 on the left, looks like it could be sprayed again. Where that one's already been sprayed. Now I will spray both of them again after I plant, and we'll see if, and that's a bit of a waste of money. Well, at least we'll know for the future. Whoa, rough. We'll know for the future if, you know, we can get another spraying in. And that way we'll avoid crop destruction. Right, let's let that guy off. Ooh, come on, go back. Let's fold that guy up. There we go. Not sure why it wasn't folded before, but what I had. Alright, so what I want to do is cultivate this field, 15, and then I'm going to rapid seed the other field. Oh no, I have to do, what do we say, corn? Yes, no, we want to cultivate both fields actually. So I'm going to cultivate them and plant them. I'll probably just cut the video just because this will get awful long. It's probably fairly long right now. And then I'll come back when we're ready to spray them. Alright, see you guys then. And there we are. We have two fields planted. This one is corn, as promised. And you can see we did fertilize it. One thing to say is, far and away, using this thing to fertilize was a ton cheaper. I don't know. I know the other one holds quite a bit more, but we only used 13% of the fertilizer that we put in this thing to do the two fields. The total fill up took us from what, about $10,000. So in other words, for about $10,000 we did both of those fields, and not for 10,000, but for only 13% of the fertilizer. So I think that's just way better as far as the amount goes. It's just a lot cheaper to do it this way. So it almost has me questioning using that rapid seeder, which came with the farm. That's not something I picked out. The rapid seeder doesn't fertilize. We'd have to go back and spray liquid fertilizer, which looks like it'll be more expensive. Anyway, before we wrap up the episode, I wanted to point this out. I haven't actually looked at this, but we do have some spots up here. I must have missed right on the corners or something. But we're fertilized up to level 2, I believe this is. So we'll have to spray one more level of fertilizer, and then we'll get that dark blue right there instead of this medium blue. So there we go. So we're in good shape. One more spray of fertilizer with the next growth cycle, and we'll be good to go. So I'll fold this guy up and put him away. I guess at some point we'll have to get a washer, huh? This equipment certainly gets dirty. I worked on a farm, and crops. And stuff got dirty, but not, you know, it got a little dusty on dry days. I mean, there was mud on the farm. It certainly, over a period of time, would get pretty dirty, but not like this. Alright, so what are we going to do here? We're going to wrap up this episode, and in between episodes, I am going to go do some missions. So we'll buzz down. Now, one of the things that I've heard, and it makes sense, these people that have the missions will give you a bonus, like a cheaper selling of the field. So if we pick out and start doing missions on some of these fields that we want to purchase, I'm not sure which ones we'll go for, but certainly an argument for some of these smaller ones near the, you know, they'll be affordable. Can always trade up, I guess, to the bigger ones as we get more and more money, because we still need to increase our equipment and increase the number of animals we have. So, but I think I'd like to get some of these small fields, which in general will support that. I do want to check out this grass field, which looks like it's a decent size, but I would like to get some grass and hay going, so we'll have to head down there and take a look. But there you go. Well, I hope you enjoyed the episode. Like I said, I'm going to go and do some missions, try to make a few bucks here, because we don't have any money. Now we're really bankrupt. We weren't quite bankrupt before. We could take out a loan to pay it off, or just do a few missions. By the time I do a couple fields for somebody else, I'll be in good shape. Head down here and park this under some kind of shelter. Probably should move that rapid seeder anyway. Alright, I'm going to park this guy up. And I'm pretty sure he doesn't do... I'm going to look for... Let's look real quick. Yep, see, he doesn't do the fertilizer. So we'll see. Alright, well, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Take care of yourselves and have a good night. Bye-bye.